I know, I know. Some reason the day didn't go in right. Some reason. I don't know why, but some reason. Haven't done a panel so long. Been busy. So how's everybody doing tonight? What's up, Louis Kanye? Who else we got in the building? Mm, 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 mm. Shout out to Art New Style. Shout out to Hood Conservative. He was pretty entertaining last night and told a little bit about himself. So we got Lionel Player One, All Star G. Woo! What's up? What's up? What's up? Come on, introduce yourself. Who's looking? Who's taking? You know we're the nicest ride in town. Come on now. I think it's very funny because I'm gonna do a recap of our show last night and also a few things that's been on my head as well. I think that a lot of things that's been going on in the black manosphere has been very humorous to me. And shout out to the one brother BGS passed to me in my email, making a custom John Wick suit. It's kind of hard for me to come up to Denver because I don't have a vehicle here, but if you could come down to Grand Junction, it'd be greatly appreciated. It's funny because even while I'm here training, I'm still having to be that guy. I'm still having to be that supervisor who has to manage people nearly another part of the country away. And a lot of you brothers probably feel me on this one because I had to counsel the Padawan who's working as a special police officer for me, and I had to game him up. For some reason, the lieutenants gave him a bad evaluation, which I don't think is fair. And it's not because, oh, he's your god, son, you got favoritism. No, I don't think it's fair because the people you gave good ones to, what did they do? And see, this is the problem when we play semantics in not only the black community, but also in the workforce. What did these other motherfuckers do that is so different? I don't see anything superior, great, whatever going. I just don't. But when you call people out on their bullshit, Apparently, people don't like it. So when we have issues, and I do mean issues, no one wants to take the charge. It's no different than when you have people in the black manosphere talking about leadership, and you ask them, who do you lead? Who follows you? What makes you a leader? Because, oh, you come up with a fantastic idea that sounds stupid when you actually call it out. Who do you lead? Oh, you think you're a leader because you have other idiots who listen to you soundly. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. But where we fundamentally fail is that we don't have any body of what we like to call substance, vision, and action. Shout out to the Grandmaster, the Master Teacher BGS. There's not enough men of substance and action. Sorry, sorry. You can't come to a man like me and tell me any damn thing you want and think that I'm gonna believe this shit is gospel. Shout out to the electrician 480. I appreciate you holding your craft. Keep up the good work, bro. Love, peace, and hair grease to you, man. Thank you for being one of the faithful few. Thank you for always being a support, and thank you for being the man and black man that you are. You know, I got to give my boy his flowers. We're going to take it way back.
Woo!
I always got to give the brothers their flowers. Because guess what? He doesn't have to share his hard work, hard earned money with me. First and foremost, even after class, I have very interesting conversations with the instructors for over an hour. And these are guys who've been around the military since the 70s and the Vietnam era, who own successful security firms. You think I'm not going to pick their brain? It's a wonderful, wonderful feeling when you can talk to mature men of various races, white, black, Asian, Hispanic, who are almost 70 years old, 80 years old, about race relations. See, a lot of people say they're about it. If you haven't noticed, I'm always about it, about it. The most beautiful thing about it is when you can sit down and you can sit at different masters. Because just like an electrician will tell you, there's some people who have a mastery, like himself, of a craft and will tell you the things they had to go through. I remember talking to the instructor today, off, off kilter after class, and of course he has his own security firm, which is very We've been doing very nice. He hired a guy who was an Iraqi Christian, who was an interpreter and police officer who helped the American forces. He's been shot. He's been threatened. His family's been threatened. And when he hired him for his company, it's a goddamn shame those same motherfuckers who were Iraq war veterans had some type of prejudice against him. He lost the contract and fired those racist bastards and kept the Iraqi guy. How can you be prejudiced against a guy who saved American lives while putting his life on the line? See, nobody wants to talk about the real shit. Nobody wants to talk about, and we both agreed. Nobody wants to talk about the heavy shit. And shout out to Hood Conservative because he's an army brat. He's a military brat. He lived in Baltimore for a good deal, so trust me. A lot of people off camera I probably get along with very well. And shout out to you joining the Marines, man. Hey, I gotta give you your flowers too, man. Shout out to you. Congratulations, man.
By the power of Grayskull.
Appreciate you, man, for doing right. Serve with honor, dignity, and respect. And don't forget to reap those rewards and benefits, man. Be a blessing to the earth. See, a lot of things when people talk about change and race, and shout out to Hood Conservative because, he did some time in Baltimore from middle school to high school. And when he said, why can't black people talk about issues without race, is because this is the reason why. Because race has been a focal point of our community because we can't forget it. They're not going to let us forget it. Louis Collier, everybody's favorite Marine, said, did you hear Lieutenant Cornell, who spoke in front of Congress about how the U.S. failed not getting all the Afghan helpers? Exactly. And see, I'm going to talk about that for a second. Myself, my instructor and myself, we sat down and talked for about an hour. And we both said that we're both patriots and we're both veterans. And we both said, shame on the United States for leaving them high and dry, just like you left a lot of those Vietnamese people who helped us out during the Vietnam War. Shame on you. Shame on you. Why do people trust the United States is beyond my comprehension right now. You have 2 wars, actually 3 wars. You left motherfuckers high and dry. Last time I checked, when I was part of the QRF and somebody threatened one of the Iraqi interpreters, we were like, we're going to go get our boy. See, I'm a loyalist at heart. I don't believe in betraying people. I don't believe in not giving your all to people. Sorry. Sorry. That's some disturbing shit. And yes, shame should be on Congress. It's amazing how much money you literally pump into Ukraine, but you're saying we're broke. It's amazing how many veterans are not getting the help they need, but you're pumping money to fucking Ukraine to fight your proxy war. America has a bad history of making its own villains. what makes it even more interesting is that you're going to get some yahoos up here.
By the power of Grayskull.
You're going to get some yahoos up here who's going to tell me straight up and down, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And I'm going to have to tell them. I'm going to have to tell them. Yo, this isn't about what black people can't talk about. This is truly about how we don't get the privilege to go around the world talking about, okay, let's do well. You know why? Because we know there's certain things that and certain barriers we're going to have to fight against. As many props I give Hood Conservative is always going to be Hood Conservative. He's going to be disingenuous. I don't care how conservative people may think they are in the black community. It's really hard to get across. It's really hard to get over your programming. It's really hard to get over your disingenuous nature. I'm just saying. It's really hard to. How many times you think grown men on any of these panels have an episode of guilt, shame, and a need to be right? See, a lot of motherfuckers don't want to live in reality. You heard my blade. Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill. But yet, think about it. I'm one of the most known people in the black manosphere. I can't even get 15 people to fucking comment. 9:45, you know, over here in the West Coast. 11:45 on the East. Or at least Central, whatever the hell time zone I'm in right now. The only thing I got to do is talk about drama, and I'll have 100 people here. If I game somebody up about how to live a prosperous life as a black man, I won't even get 20 fucking live viewers. But if I go back and forth with a ne'er-do-well or a nifnod, because motherfuckers love drama, I'll get all the support. Shout out to Louis Coya. The fact of the matter is, the large majority of the people in the manosphere is becoming like the women they complain about. LOL. Facts, my boy. This is how the facts was hitting them, man. That statement right there hit them like this. Let me give you your flowers, man.
Now for a lesson. You may have heard these words before, but I'll teach you what they really mean. Go beyond! Plus!
See, you're absolutely right. A lot of these brothers in here act like the very women they say they can't stand. You've been raised the same way. You can't see shit for what it is. You can't see the trees from the forest. Well, guess what happens? We'll get a bunch of fucking ne'er-do-wells trying to jock our style, trying to tell us that we don't know what the fuck we talking about. Right? I always ask this question. What's worse? The motherfucker who put you in bondage or the motherfucker that sees you in bondage and can do something about it and just sits on their hands? See, even when we're having a very intellectually stimulating conversation, you're going to have somebody coming over here to just spread some shit. It's no different than when I was on an arts program the other week. Shout out to Snowman AB. It's funny how Sirism, as I like to call him, feminism, you didn't even want to make a statement of how you got your son into getting his master's. You wanted to try to get some clout, trying to take me down, but make yourself look foolish. See, the problem is with a lot of people, they're not on code. What's up, ninja person? A lot of people are not on code. You don't have to agree to a damn thing I say, just like I don't have to agree to a damn thing you state. But if it's for the betterment of black men and black boys, you best be on code. And what's so hard with that? See, the problem is this. You got black women who will hire other black women for jobs and they can't even stand that bitch. And they will say, I can't stand that light skinned, dark skinned, pretty, ugly, fat, skinny, in shape bitch. But you know one thing about them that you gotta respect? They're gonna be on code. A nigga can't stand another nigga making $1 over him. See, like the old saying goes, we can't have nice shit. Because too many people, once they get the big house, they want to fuck up all the furniture. Shout out to LAPD SWAT 1, another one of the faithfuls. Don't become discouraged. God saves his hardest battles for his strongest warriors. God knows that's right. Trying to give you your flowers, baby. See, there's times when I'm calling AB Media offline, or he'll call me, and other people who are some of our fan favorites in the manosphere. And we'll talk about various subjects for about an hour or two. It's crazy because some of the smartest and most talented people in our sphere are not even being tutored. Like, for God's sakes, a guy like AB Media should be at least 10,000 to 20,000 subs. A guy who knows his way in and out of a computer, a programmer, a guy like Dead Set, and others who program computers for a living. Why aren't the smartest the most elevated and revered? But a guy like me is called crazy when I ask these questions. Ninja Person says the majority of the manosphere deals in dysfunction. I'm not surprised that a stream on finance or fatherhood isn't heralded. But ninjas come out of the woodwork to talk. Yeah, exactly. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? If I'm telling you to be a better man, join the military, get your benefits, get your education, get your body right, get your mind right, get your soul right, get your money right, and everything will be all right. Fall back in love into who you are, and who you were, and who you will become. And everything else that falls in your lap is a byproduct of you being great. I think that's a beautiful message. Think about it. How many times did you hear anywhere in this black manosphere or the manosphere period in its totality talk about my brother, my champion, my savior? See, I got times, and I'm not even one of those dudes who try to put up receipts. I've talked to brothers when they were at their lowest, offline and online. This is supposed to be a brotherhood. This is supposed to be encouragement. Snowman said, real creative thinking content is not heralded at all. And it's not fair. It's not fair that all of our channels in this space are not at 20,000 with as diverse as we are. Exactly. What's up, Kurt? Think about it. The highest a man with over what? How many subs do I have right now? How many? And sometimes I don't even care if I get a lot of subs, live streamers, because sometimes the messages need to be heard a lot better than what is being told. The other day, I got told by a female friend of mine that she doesn't see any growth. I said, if you don't see any growth from me, I got to tell you something. You must be blind. You must be blind or stupid, or you just don't want to comprehend or see it. Even when I'm at my lowest, I never told a broad, can I do this? Can I borrow that? Because I know how the system works. I know what a woman will do if you don't pick yourself up. See, not all of us are blessed to have a Jody like the snowman. You know, a woman who sees you going through your ups and downs and she supports you, but doesn't throw it up in your face. I know what a lot of women would have done if I asked them for help. They would have threw that shit in my face like a Nolan Ryan fastball. But we don't have channels that tells a brother, you know, we're gonna keep pursuing, we're gonna keep pushing, we're gonna keep driving on. We don't have channels like that on the regular, with the exception of like a BGS or Art New Style or the Angry Man or Mr. Z or Snowman when he does the Snowman Unfiltered. We don't have a lot of those channels getting the press and the thanks they deserve. Here it is, you got a goddamn art professor who mentors children. He's an art professor in both high school and college, an administrator. How the fuck is it that our PhDs don't even have 100,000 subscribers? I want you to take that in consideration, right? Notice I haven't really been talking about my channel. Notice I rarely do. I have to ask this one question, folks. Do we really want to look for freedom, or do we just want to suffer in bondage a little bit less? Speaking of Mr. Z, we got Mr. Z in the building. But see, speaking about black male empowerment, it's not glamorous. It's not lucrative. Okay? Telling a young black boy how he can become a great man is like how we used to tell black children they could be president before Obama. And don't forget to support the Snowman going through some hard times. And trust me, whatever you like, whatever you donate, the Snowman will talk about on his show. Whatever sports subject, whatever past, present, and even future, Snowman got you. But don't forget to support him and Jody. See, that was an example of brothers helping brothers. I don't turn my back on people. Haven't you noticed? Well. Well, you're not being fair. No. I'm being truthful. And see, what the problem is of being truthful is that motherfuckers don't feel comfortable around you. When motherfuckers figure out that you're not going to be the proverbial ass kisser, that's when they looking for your downfall. How can we get this motherfucker out of this position? It's like when I told the Padawan earlier, when they gave him his evaluation and they put a bunch of bullshit in it, he become the biggest prick in the world. That's when you show everybody your standard and you hold everybody to it. You make everybody bend to your will like you're a force of nature, like you're the goddamn god of nature yourself. You know what? Salute the All-Star G for that comment right there. Salute. Black people don't seek comfort. They seek comfort, not freedom. Black male intelligence is very despised. It's the enemy. See, I've always been taught by my father and my mother that if you got it, you flaunt it. Your intellectual prowess should be a badge of honor, not a ball and chain of shame. You don't know how many times through the years. I don't know how many times through the years people will be like, well, Us the father? Well, Sandra fucked her down. You're so sexist. How am I sexist when I'm the one who defended females several times? I'm so sexist, but I defended black females against other black females trying to talk shit about them. I'm the one who actually mentor young women to be successful, just like I do with the young men. I'm the one who tells them to go into STEM, just like I would tell the young boys go into STEM. I'm the one who takes their time, their money, and their effort to bless others. For a guy who's sexist, I'm doing a pretty fucking poor job of it. Believe it or not, I'm one of the first few people to tell Mr. Z to even make his own damn channel. I'm the one who even encouraged him. And even went at fucking FD signifier. There's a reason why FD went after Mr. fucking Z and not Charles Faulkner, because he thought Mr. Z was going to be an easy out. And Mr. Z did his best to show him there's no weak links in this chain. There are no clouds in our stones. See, you damn sure don't want Dr. T on your ass or Green Gorilla. You damn sure don't want BGS on you. And I'm going to tell you, if you're listening, because I know somehow you're going to hear your name, FD Signifier. Mr. Z was merciful. I would not be. You can try me any day, any night, any time of the week. I will dissect you like a middle school science fair frog. And I'm going to ask this question, especially if you got a boy. Do you think your boy is going to get a fair shot in the black community? Riddle me that, fat man. Riddle me that, black man. But we don't want to talk about those self-evident truths. Mr. Z at least lets you live with your dignity. Shout out to our Jesus Christ, to our to our ratchet whisperer. He does great things on behalf of the manosphere. He does God's work. What you walked in on was greatness. I just find it funny how you don't see these guys who are opponents of the black manosphere come to places like Switzerland, like Art Newstyle's channel, to have an intelligent talk about the upliftment of black boys. See, I'm a 40-year-old man. Matter of fact, April 1st is right around the corner. So I'm basically a 41-year-old man. If I live to be 100, 40% of my life is here. Okay? What about the next generation that's about to take the helm? Nobody cares. But when you show heart, when you show substance to young men, what are you? Who are you? What do you stand for? And that's what fundamentally gets the GOAT. People want to say, well, that's the fun. Now, what about the girls? Don't they need? See, the way society is right now, the girls are fine. I don't have to worry about them. The great Western society has alleviated women for even their own fuck ups. That's how beautiful men are. That's how beautiful we are. We can actually keep you from fucking up. And you're bigger than what they choose to show you. Of course. See, there's many a times I get on people of donating to other people's channels because I know that one of the greatest motivators for a lot of people to keep making content that speaks on your behalf is currency, which is AKA money. There are times when you're not going to get, and this is the reason why I always give Art New Style his flowers. He's one of the few true Black Manosphere channels that can have conservatives, liberals, moderates on the same goddamn panel at the same damn time asking real questions that concerns us. Name me one other person. Name me one other person. See, I gotta tell you this though. Since Detroit 313, another one of the faithful, put a fantasy Batman or reality based Batman. It's funny how there are some people, and I still can't see how some people don't like the movie Man of Steel. And I think Man of Steel was a masterpiece because Man of Steel really was how the world will look at an alien with godlike powers who lived among them. That is the black male in America. You are looked at as one of the most astonishing creatures on earth. We enslaved you, but you still gave us 85% of our inventions. We even threatened you with death if we caught you with a book. But you're equal to the former slave owners. How? You're a phenomenon. But yet, Man of Steel taught us, no matter how super you are, no matter how great you are, there's somebody out there that's gonna still fear you. See, when they can't control you, they fear you. And when they fear you, they must think of a way to destroy you. Somebody put that in the chat. If they can't control you, they fear you. And if they can't control, and if they fear you, they're going to figure out a way to destroy you. Relationships in the black community, anybody? I even had to look at Batman v Superman and see the brilliance of that. The brilliance of that. Lex Luthor feared Superman. Some of the best quotes in comic book movies came from goddamn B versus S. Okay? When they said devils do not come from hell, they come from above. That was classic. Even Batman feared Superman. Why? Because they were not able to comprehend, they were not able to control, they feared him, so they must think of a way to destroy him. Shout out to the master teacher again. Why do you think our women love compromised men? Why do you think they hate men who are about their business? Because if they can't control you, they start to fear you. And if they fear you, they're going to figure out a way to destroy you. Say what you like. It's the truth. It's the goddamn truth. It's the goddamn truth. If you really loved these men and say these men are worthy to be leaders, then why do you go out of your way to destroy them? I challenge you, anybody listening to the sound of my voice, go back and look at Man of Steel. Go back and look at Batman v Superman. And go look at the imagery. Go look at the imagery. Go look at what's being said and comprehend what's being said. And tell me, is that not the black man's plight? You telling me you look at Man of Steel and tell me that's not the black man's plight in America? Go ahead and look at B versus S and tell me that's not the relationship he has with his women in America? If I can't control you, I fear you. If I fear you, I must destroy you. Go look at that shit again. It's on HBO. It's on HBO Max. But you know, there's so many people who say, well, you're just making this shit up as you go. No, 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 no. Go look at it. Go look at it. And I bet you 9 out of 10 that James Gunn is going to pick the most effeminate looking dude to play Superman that he can find. Hopefully he does find a good person to play Superman, but guess what? He's going to find one.
Hello, sir?
Snowman. And let me see if I can get Snowman. Snowman. JK, JD Williams, what's up?
Hey,
How you doing, sir?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Pleasure having me.
What do you think about the term of if they can't control you, they fear you. If they fear you, they must destroy you.
I was going to say that you worded that perfectly, because like any powerful black man, when they can't control you, most of the powerful black men in entertainment, like that they show you on TV, they try to put you in a dress. They don't really want you to be masculine in the whole masculine frame, because if they can't control that, they fear it, because we've always been looked to for what masculinity truly is. Like nobody really thinks. I'm sorry, not no racist. I don't want to offend nobody or nothing like that. But let's be honest. When it comes to masculinity, women think of like the black men with the muscles, and this man, nigga all jock and shit.
Think about what
They
women.
they don't really think to some white dude with little bitty muscles, and no, they don't.
Think
So
about what women said for years. What did women say for over 100 years? What type of men they like? Tall, dark,
dark
and what?
and handsome.
I'm trying,
Exactly.
man. I tell you, man.
See, Marcus B, 28, you hit it right there on the nose.
Superman
Superman
wasn't
wasn't
celebrated until his
celebrated
death.
until his death. Does that sound like BLM?
Yep.
See,
Yup,
see,
because they
you
don't
see,
celebrate you till you're dead.
you
They don't
know,
even want
you
to
know
give you
what's
your
funny?
flowers, your props when you're dead.
You
When you're not
see
here.
have y'all seen how I seamlessly put this shit together?
Mm-hmm.
That everybody's starting to see Marcus B actually saw the pieces. Superman wasn't celebrated until his death. BLM anybody?
You know what? I'm a living testament of that statement right there, because Duke University was ready to celebrate my death because they told my wife, when I got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer 2 years ago, that the tumor was inoperable, to get your affairs in order and prepare to put me in a box. And bless my wife's heart, she said, fuck that shit. I was at a point I couldn't make decisions because I had poison in me. I took chemotherapy. They were ready to celebrate my death. They were ready to celebrate my death for all of 2 seconds and then write down another stat. But then the good folks at IU Med Center, I will never, ever forget them. So when we went in for our consultation and Dr. Attila Nakib was drawing pictures on a paper towel of where my tumor was, what organs were affected. And I looked at him plainly and I said, "Can you remove this tumor?" And he said, "We'll get this motherfucker." And coming up on the 1-year anniversary of that surgery. Were it not for Jody, I would be dead. Period. Were it not for you guys, for Charles encouraging me, everybody in the chat encouraging me, for Marcus, and for all the folks that I meet whenever Charles goes live or BGS or anybody and I talk to him, you guys encourage me every day. Hell, Charles is one of the first people I talked to after I came out of surgery.
Yeah. It's crazy that, we don't get celebrated while we still among the living.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
it is crazy.
Mm-mm. No, that don't happen.
I'm gonna cry. Y'all gonna have to forgive me, but every time I talk about this, my emotions come out because cancer is what took my parents. Breast cancer took my mom, and prostate cancer took my dad. I still got a lot of living to do. I'm gonna be 51 in July, and I don't feel like it. I'm getting stronger. I'm walking longer with my dog and with Jody when we go out somewhere. And hell, we got plans of celebrating April 4th and me doing my show in my hometown because that's a 1-year anniversary. And thank God for this piece of news. And some of y'all may know already, I'm in remission.
It's a beautiful thing to hear you're in remission. See,
I had
how many people look at you and say, "Yo, you a goddamn superhero"?
Well, one, my whole family does it.
Well, we do.
I know y'all do, and I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. There are days and moments I just break down crying because I'm happy. Because I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to do my show every morning and every afternoon and keep putting my empire together. And people will say, "You got to get real. You're not going to be able to make $2 billion a year since you turn 50. Well,
Shut the hell up.
Watch this, motherfucker.
Right?
That's how I feel. I'm like, well, watch this, motherfucker.
Why do people? You ever notice how people put a limitation upon your life?
Yes.
Yeah, that fucks me up. How you can just look at me and try to just limit my life and tell me, oh, well, I ain't supposed to go but so far just because I'm black. That shit fucks me up. It's just.
I feel like this.
How you think I feel?
AB, I'm there with you. We're all there with you. I'm from Chicago. We got spoiled by Michael Jordan for 13 years, and he said it best. Who says man was not meant to fly?
Right.
Let me change a word of that. And this is for everybody in the chat. Who says black men were not meant to fly?
Some white man.
I like to tell people that. I like to
Because
tell
nobody.
people that
Go ahead,
number,
Charles.
I like to tell people this shit. The number one, we're not allowed to have a bad day.
I still owe you that episode.
Ooh, that's great.
We're not allowed.
You cooking with grease tonight, man. I like this, man.
We're not allowed to have a bad day.
Ooh.
We're not allowed to make a mistake. See,
I still owe Charles that episode. I never got a chance to do it, but I'm gonna make time this weekend to do it. And I'd love for you to join me and AB and everybody on this panel. And that will be the exact title. Men are not allowed to have a bad day.
No,
we're not allowed to be.
especially black men. No, especially us, because anytime we've seen, it's crazy. If you just be focused or in your head as a black man, they ask you what the hell is wrong with you. Are you okay? Do you want to talk? You can't just be focused. You can't just
You,
be in your
you
own
can't just
phone.
you can't
It
just
bothers them.
be on your you can't just be on your mission. You
Like
can't just
that's
be on your mission.
something wrong.
Mhm. I want you to think about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is how fucked up our community is. You got motherfuckers more concerned about jumping Takashi 6ix9ine, but George Zimmerman can walk free around any place in the United States untouched.
Yep.
Not that I condone violence.
Ain't that a big? You know what I'm saying? Ain't that a big?
Well,
I wish.
technically speaking, that was Latin Kings, but I get your point.
Oh yeah, we know.
That's funny. He
But
mentioned that. I saw a funny skit. Yeah, man.
think about it. Where did they get this? Where did they get this? Where did they get this culture from? It's not theirs.
Oh no, but they've been known to steal everything, land, just resources, just. If they could steal the black off your skin and still be white, they could. They would definitely, man.
I got a funny story for y'all. I relayed it before, but I must relay it again, given the subject. Jody and I went to Cookout one day, a place called Cookout when we were living in North Carolina. And Jody was driving and she heard the voice of the heifer that was taking our order. Jody looked at me and said, "Baby, you need to get your card out fast." I'm half tired because she's driving. I have to drive her back to Raleigh to go to work. And I'm thinking about that. I said, why am I getting... And before I could complete my question, I heard her voice. And I said, no problem. I grabbed my wallet, I pull out my card, and I have it in hand. Yeah. All I will have to say to complete my sentence is the black heifer looking out the window. And the many thoughts that went through her head when she saw my wife.
She'll get over it.
Right? So, just one girl, man. You'll be all right.
Well, when we pulled up and I got to look at her, she had a look on her face, and AB, I told you this on your channel last year.
Mm-hmm.
She had a look on her face that could throw darts through our car window.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well.
All because Jody is not of my persuasion.
Oh well.
Oh,
So what? I laugh at certain people. They do that with a lot of things. Like when they see black people and when they see black people in nice cars and everything, they'll ask you how'd you get it, all
Yep.
type of shit. Like or they act like they don't see you. Like a lot of times you'll pull up to like a light or something, and they won't inch up next to you. They'll see, like they'll look at the car or whatever, and then they get right up to that window and be like, "Oh, that's the nigga in there." Oh no, we good. We sit right here.
I cannot tell you And Charles, you know this. You've been on this ride with me for 8 years now. 8 years this month, to be exact. 8 years ago in March, Charles and I met online.
Mm.
And a year after that, when I moved to LaPorte, we had that incredible conversation. And
Oh
if
yeah.
y'all can support Snowman via Cash App and help my family, that would be totally appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I told Charles 8 years ago, whoever I meet, doesn't matter the race, the color, the creed, or anything. If she's good to me, I'll be good to her. That was my exact sentence.
Mm-hmm.
That was my exact sentence. And Charles simply said, she'll find you. Well, it took a while, but June of 2018, Jody found me and rescued me from that cliff I was going to step over and not come back. Matter of fact, Jody rescued me twice. The first time we met, and then when I got diagnosed with cancer. And yet I'm not supposed to celebrate it. According to a lot of black people I know who I've since cut out, I'm not supposed to celebrate the fact that Jody saved my life twice. And I'll say it for you, Charles. What the hell is wrong with this picture?
You know what's funny? You know what's really immediately funny
Mm-hmm.
is that you're not allowed to be saved. You're not allowed to be cherished. You're not allowed to be fawned after. You're not allowed to be loved, respected, given any reverence. You know, like AB said, people don't appreciate his work.
And people sure as
People
hell don't
don't
appreciate mine.
it's like my man said earlier. This is the statement of the day. Superman wasn't celebrated until his death. Black men are not celebrated. You don't see one person saying we need criminal justice until a black man dies. But we're okay sending your ass to the fucking pokey. And we're not talking about the men who actually deserve to be locked up and sent to jail.
Right.
We're talking about the injustice system.
Mm-hmm.
Because if this truly was the justice system, how is it that a guy like, what's the guy who had the island with all the celebrities and politicians coming to it? Jeffrey Epstein?
Epstein.
Yep. When Jeffrey Epstein had all them politicians and all these people who's supposed to be on the right side of the law at his fucking island with underage children, justice got served, but guess what? Why isn't justice just for us too?
There's no justice. There's no justice for black men.
And see, that's the statement that pays. Black man can't have a bad day. He can't have misfortune upon him. And that's basically what it boils down to.
I'll make a promise to you, Charles. I will do that episode Saturday night before the Coliseum kicks off. I have to do it now. If I don't do it Saturday night, I'll do it Friday night, just so the Coliseum will not be disturbed, because I don't want to be on when the Coliseum's on, because I want to hang out with y'all there.
Oh yeah. Here. So Mike, Malika, Micah, I don't know, Mr. Stanford. I want to. Hopefully, you come up here and tell me how you pronounce your name properly, because I don't like butchering names. I'm gonna just say to Stanford. anytime you want to challenge that shit, all you got to do is ask one question. Ask your female cousins this question. Can their man tell them what to do, when to do, how to do it? And there's no argument, no issue with it. They'll just do it.
And if they don't get the triple play, then you got your answer.
And if they said, because last time I checked, if the men are the leaders, can the men enforce reward and can they enforce punishment?
Punishment.
And if they can't say, so can their men punish them when they get out of line? Can they restrict them when they get out of line? And that will tell you who the leaders of the community truly is.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
But the black community hates that logic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I've said that very shit to people, and I got chewed out for it. What do you mean punishment? You're not supposed to punish a woman.
Oh dear.
You said the key word at the end of your first sentence. Logic.
They don't want black men to be leaders.
I mean, who else can say that in 1995 they took an idea in Chicago and ran with it, and a year later created their first company dedicated to broadcast, just sportscasting? How many black men? Well, there's black men doing it now because of the advent of social media, but how many of them are structured? Let's just be absolutely totally real. How many of them are structured to bring sports to you the way that I do 5 days a week?
None of them are.
How many of them are structured to bring an afternoon show that is based on sports but have entertainment figures or have figures from all walks of life, including those that talk of depression, which is what I suffer, and talk of anxiety, which is what I go through?
Hey, I'm diagnosed with clinical depression.
Yes, sir.
I've been very candid about my PTSD and depression.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny. And your cousins were men. And I'm gonna tell you what your cousins are. No offense, damn fools.
Mm-hmm.
Damn fools.
And I know you were diagnosed with PTSD when we talked about it at the time we were on the air together.
Yeah. And it's crazy because a lot of fellas out there who go through physical mishaps.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of the few people that tells you, look, life ain't done with you yet. Get up.
Exactly.
Rise. Rise, rise, rise.
That was the message you, Jody, and Cheyenne all gave me. When I was so weak in the hospital, I didn't want to move. I was in that hospital after surgery for 9 days. And it took basically until the 5th day for me to like really feel my strength. And I'm still not all the way back. I'm still not all the way back yet.
What's up? See what happened. I want you to think about it. Is that when you get back and rise to your feet? I mean, think about it. We've all been in stasis where we're in moments of weakness. Mm-hmm. And we're like, what the fuck am I going to do? Next thing you know, you hear a little voice in your head that says, rise, get up.
Mm-hmm.
Get up.
I'll give y'all this one. I was just about to get hired by Speedway in Columbus, Indiana. My brain's thinking, I got to do something to help my family. And in essence, my anxiety was through the roof. Well, I get a text message saying that I can no longer be hired. And I remember her asking me, why'd you leave Speedway in North Carolina? I said, there's a little thing I got called pancreatic cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Bitter Truth Show that pointed something out to me that I didn't realize and it's happened twice with Duke University Hospital and with Speedway. I got discriminated against.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Didn't even
All
try.
times.
Didn't even try to lift a finger to ensure your survival.
No.
And this is what the fuck I talk about
all the time. And that's a wonderful thing that you do.
But yet so many people try to shun me and say, well, that's not true. We love you. Prove it.
Bullshit.
Prove it.
I will say what I say during my show. That's some grade A homogenized Holstein bullshit.
Go ahead, AB.
Go ahead, AB.
I hate to say this, but shout out to Tina Turner because she was right when she said, what does love have to do with it?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
There is no love.
Who's actually writing that song?
There is no love. Think about it.
Man, she said that correctly.
Shout out to George Duke. No rhyme, no reason.
None.
I'm just...
And after I got that and I picked up my daughter and I came home that afternoon. I alerted Jody to what's going on, but it was Friday and I knew she was busy at work. I sat here at my desk and I cried. And my daughter Sonia comes out, hears me, and she says, "Are you okay?" And I said, "No." And I went completely off. And all she did was just let me rant, and she comforted me.
Yeah. Think about it. You ever notice how many Bible scriptures talk about you comfort me in my time of sorrow?
Mm-hmm.
You comfort me in my... See, people don't understand.
They sure don't.
Hey, where are you? See, it's okay for people to vent to old Charles.
Yeah.
But if Charles needs somebody, where are these motherfuckers?
Can I get a witness?
When Angry Black Man or AB or Snowman need somebody, where are these motherfuckers?
Nowhere to be found.
But yet, somehow, some way, we get online on the internet, YouTube, and other places, and we fellowship with other men and women who we know not in the personal, but only in the digital.
Yes.
And we get renewed strength through them, which is amazing.
It is.
It's amazing. Do you know how many times I get an email from people who says, I heard what you said and it stopped me from taking my own life? Do I need to say that again?
Say it again, please.
When you get an email from a stranger that says, I heard what you said and you stopped me from taking my own life. But we're supposed to be a bunch of man haters, a bunch of woman haters.
Oh yeah, we hate
black. Well, Charles knows that statement because before I moved to Jasper, Indiana from LaPorte, I delivered that message to him.
Exactly.
And part of that was because of the conversation we had, that 3-hour on-air conversation we had.
Yeah, that was monumental.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
That's because the black community is a bunch of liars.
Exactly. And it's funny, right? You get labeled a hate monger for telling the truth.
And putting facts behind it.
Well, we're a bunch of fucking liars.
Yep.
You want black men to lead and fix things, but then you don't want criticism from said black man.
Bingo.
You have therapists that will make TikTok videos talking shit about black men and toxic masculinity and you niggas need therapy, but then you laugh at black men
in the same
who do seek therapy. Therefore, a black man holds his feelings in, so you suffer with your depression and your PTSD in silence. Then you blow your fucking head off.
Mm-hmm. You blow your top.
We're a bunch of liars in the black community. We lie about every fucking thing.
You blow your top. You're forced to hold it. You're forced to hold it in. It's like Charles said, we're not allowed to have a bad day.
Lead the family, black man, but yet I can't tell a black woman what to do.
Mm-hmm.
She can kill my baby. I have zero say so, but yet I'm supposed to be the leader.
I want you to think about that. You the leader.
Say that again, angry black man. Say that again.
Black man should lead the family only until the black woman wants to have an abortion and kill black man's baby. Then I have zero say so.
No, it's actually worse than that. They wait till the baby's 4 years old and
I bet you'll smile about it too.
Oh, you don't want to hear my story about child support. You ever paid child support for a kid that was living in your house?
What the fuck?
The fuck?
You and Art should talk.
Like, what the fuck?
How?
Hey, did I stutter?
That is
not at all.
That is greed upon greed, man.
Yeah, that's just.
I paid child support for a kid that was living in my house.
In your house.
You know, my son's mother tried to do that to me. Sent a letter from child support. I ripped that motherfucker up and called her immediately. I said, motherfucker, if I get my lawyer on the phone right now, you know you're going to pay. So either drop this shit or get prepared for war.
It's time for war. It's time. It was time for war, and I had a war with my family when my daughter was born. Here's how fucked up black women are in the community. Thank you, David Carroll. When my daughter was born, March 6th, 2013, and she would have been 10 this year, every person I called, race, color, creed notwithstanding, every person I called who knew me or knew of me all said congratulations. The last two people I called and informed them of Donna, my mother and my sister. Do I need to tell you how that conversation went? My mother flat said to me, quote, "Are you going to be there for her?" What?
She's my daughter. Yeah, of course I'm going to be there for her.
No, it's not, of course, because he's a black man. My mother said something similar to me once.
And here's the curveball. My daughter was mixed.
And?
That's how I'm thinking. And her name's Donna, and she's my girl. She's my baby girl.
I got 4 mixed nieces and nephews. I'll kill you if you try to mess with them.
Thank you. Thank you.
Allegedly, excuse me.
And my family got broken up by some motherfuckers that didn't even want to get to know me or my plans, because at that point, after Donna was born, I was in scramble mode. I'm trying to move from Chicago to Indianapolis and set up shop there, which is what Liz and I had talked about. After Donna was born, she said, "How fast can you get the rest of your stuff and get down here to my place in Indianapolis?" And I said, "I can do that within 48 hours. Then the family showed up. And I was outnumbered. I was outnumbered, and the bitches in that family didn't even talk to me. Oh, I take that back. They talked to me, but they informed me, "Well, you have to go home because we're having Liz live with us." What? So just because I showed up and actually treated her like a woman, and she gave me a child, you're going to take everything away? And I didn't know what to do at the time. Yes, I was 40, but I had just got introduced to parenthood, and my lone thought was Donna. Well,
and see, the shameful part about it is that You can't have a bad story. You can't talk about your heartbreak. This is what the world telling us.
Yeah. Well, old snowman ain't listening, especially with channels like this that allow me to do it. And I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. Because when I moved back home with my mother, which felt like death to me, it flat out felt like death to me.
Ooh,
Somebody is snoring.
I might be in a few minutes, but that's not me right now.
That might be me in a little while also when I get all my edits done. But somebody is snoring loud.
I actually clear my nose.
Oh, I mean,
Goddamn tissue.
okay. But when I had to move back home with my mom with 2 giant bags of stuff, including my equipment, All Star G, you are so true. That's why we're making our own. But that move back home felt like the trip of shame. I didn't want to make that trip. And my mother bugged me every day. Every day. Did you get a paternity test? Are you going to get a paternity test? Is that really your child? The more she said that, the madder I got. But I was outnumbered. 2 black heifers to 1 black man.
Mm.
And I couldn't go off. If I go off, I'm homeless. I put it in a friend's language. If I go teetotally the fuck off, I'm homeless.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
I was so glad that I had Roosevelt University to lean on for baseball, as well as high school baseball, up until the end of June. Because every time Mark picked me up, my friend Mark Farina, who was my baseball partner, the first time he picked me up after I lost Donna, after I lost my family, he parked, turned to me, and said, "Let it out." Yeah, you're right, son. You're right, Ra.
It's a compromised position, man, and
It is.
you're right.
And
Because
I've
it's
been
like,
dealing with that grief since 2013.
think about this, right? I've always said, and I asked my ex this morning, I said, out of any of your female friends, former, current, whatever, tell me one that's dating a man who's a leader and of substance, who's got his own, who can tell them how to go forth.
Mm-hmm.
She even said, I can't think of one. They all were compromised men.
Bada bing.
They can't handle. See, when they talk about they want a man to be a leader,
Mm-hmm.
That control.
they
That's
never
why.
talk about. They said, in order for me to submit, then you're not submissive.
They don't want a leader. What they want is somebody to pay all their bills.
Yeah,
Yep.
they want
Yeah.
a 4-point simp. They don't want a leader. They want a figurehead.
They want an ATM machine.
Yeah. Bingo.
They want a fucking figurehead. They want somebody to sit on the throne with no real power.
Mm-hmm.
They want somebody to blame when shit goes wrong.
Yeah. Bingo.
Why do you think they hate nice guys?
They've hated my ass for years.
They hate nice guys because when shit goes bad, you can't blame him.
Nope.
They've hated my ass for years. And then I get blamed for having a temper problem when shit piles up so much and I let it go and let it go and let it go and I pop off.
Mm-hmm.
Because Jody Dials kept doing that shit to me. It's called mental anguish.
Mhm.
Every time she pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, and I'm living in Michigan. I'm living in Michigan City, going back and forth from Michigan City to LaPorte. Yeah, LaPorte, Indiana, small town, 6'5" black man, big black man. You know the rest.
Mm-hmm.
Not even not even Dr. K asks me, why is it taking so long for you to get all of this out? I mean, hell, we share experiences almost every damn day. After all the shit she went through and I went through, and we came together, we knew there was going to be a period where we're just getting stuff off our chest. And there still is. And there still is. And it's not fair for people to judge Jody and I on their experiences, not ours.
Mm-hmm.
Because I swear to God, there are some days I get the look of death from my in-laws, and they turn to her and they want to spit out the question, why'd you marry him? He doesn't have anything. And I told myself I better not hear that question, because if I do, I will snap. After the past 2 years of shit that I've been through, if I ever hear that question from anybody directed to Jody, I will go off.
Mm-hmm.
I will go completely the fuck off. Because that's simply not fair. To pass judgment on a man who's been through 2 years of hell, from blood clots to pancreatic cancer. I'm still alive and kicking. And it's like, not many people outside of family give a fuck. Now, to be perfectly honest, very few people inside a family give a fuck. And they live here. I'm sorry. I had to let that off my chest. I'm sorry, gentlemen.
What I miss?
Me going off?
I just don't even understand it anymore, folks. It's like, what more can I say? What more can I do?
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
We have a culture of lying in the black community.
Yes,
Yeah, I
we
gotta
do.
revisit this, man. Snowman, what did Bron sexuals do this week?
I will post the episode and I will send it to you. And thank you, Ninja Person. It's like I said, this is just the last 2 years of grief. This is just the last 2 years of hell. And I told myself before my 50th birthday, when I turn 50, I'm out of fucks to give. I turned 50 and that statement has been ever so true. I mean, some days it gets to the point when my father-in-law is here working on a house that we can't buy, mind you. Because we went into this thinking, okay, we're going to buy this house. We're going to shape it up. We're going to do what we need to do and really make this home. Wrong answer. Matter of fact, where are my sounds? Where are my sounds? I haven't done any sounds in a while. It's like we get here and we're thinking, okay, we're gonna buy this house, shape it up, and do what we need to do to really make this home.
Hit
And
that
as soon as
button one more time for the people who didn't understand it.
say again.
Hit the button one more time.
And as soon as we got that message, Jody and I looked at each other and both went,
God damn!
and we also thought,
He did what?
sometimes I gotta use sounds and I gotta use humor to illustrate some things. But I looked at Jody and she looked at me and we're like, okay, fuck it. We'll pay rent here until we put enough money away where we can beat it. Because we're ready to get the hell up out of here. That's why I put the GoFundMe up. That's why I put up the Cash App, because any donation will help. The Cash App will help me help get my family get from week to week. The GoFundMe is the big one, the two of them. One for my daughter Cheyenne and one for me. Sometimes life deals us a bad hand. Sorry to hear that. Thank you, Ra. Because I've had some sucker's hands the last 2 years. I had some shitty hands. I literally have gone through, in the past 3 years, 2 years living in North Carolina and then coming up here, trying to get my health situated. I literally have gone through almost every case of now what? End of 21, I thought everything was okay until Christmas night when I got sucker punched with COVID. 24 hours later, my wife gets sucker punched with COVID.
Damn, it's gotta suck.
Literally the last day we had COVID, we were watching a football game. We saw the first drive and we both were like, fuck it, we're going to sleep.
Yep, that's what I'm about to do now. I'll catch you guys later.
Have a good one, AB.
All right.
But everything that Charles said is true. And facts are put behind it. I just decided tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and do my unfiltered tomorrow, because I always did it on Thursday before I had to put a halt to it.
And sometimes we're the only people who lift each other up.
Yep.
We're the only people who got each other's back. I want you to think about that.
Yeah. It's what you said, Charles. With this this space, my brother, my champion, my savior.
Yeah, we're all what we got.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're lucky to have a good woman that actually stuck by you doing your hardest, keep them. All else, fuck them.
Exactly. All I needed to see April 4th of last year was Jody in the ICU room. I knew I was good after that.
Uh-huh.
It just literally took until March. It literally took until January for me to finally realize what I needed to do. Because I didn't get it. And yes, I was stubborn, but Dr. K stood by me. I mean, she scolded me playfully when I was doing something wrong, and she also showed me what I needed to do to get right. I mean, she made me feel like Ryu. In case you don't know who Ryu is,
Hadouken!
there you go. Well, my dog Lucy is coming to get me. And she's looking at me saying, "Daddy, you need to come to bed." So I better do what my dog says. Jeez, I thought I was loud.
Yeah, I guess it's time for everybody calling tonight.
Yeah, it is.
It's nighttime.
Yep. It's night time because my dog's coming to get me. But
Let's get out of here. Later, folks. Peace.
later.